everyone. Welcome to Open Mic Night. This is Armand, W4AEB, for the first half on Net Control. And I want to thank Terry, Mark, Dave, and Gil, and everybody else in the Zoom room. I see we have a couple of text check-ins. Do we have any mobiles, any mobile stations? Please give us your call sign twice and speak slowly and clearly. Mobile, check-in. Okay, any mobile check-ins? Step up and give us your call sign twice, please, and only your call sign. Let's go to the two text check-ins that we have. We've got W2RBC, Randy from West Seneca, New York. And we have KR4KAW, Ryan from Rock Hill, South Carolina. And I understand Ryan just came back from a well-deserved vacation. He's just joining us tonight. So Ryan, the question for tonight is, do you trust your first instinct?
Good evening, Armand. This is KR4KAW, Ryan. I would say, Jim, yes, I trust my first instinct. Sometimes I don't, and I live to regret it. I would say, generally, I've learned to trust my first instinct. Thank you for running the net, and good luck tonight.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for joining us and giving us your response. Next on the list, W2RBC, Randy. Randy, do you trust your first instincts?
Good evening, Armand, Dave, and everyone on the Open Mic Net. No, I normally don't rely on instinct or feelings. Logic makes more sense for me. Back to Net Control, 73 to all, W2RBC.
Thank you, Randy. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Okay, let's go back to the mobile stations. Anybody wishing to check in? And we'll take general check-ins also. Please give us your call sign twice and speak slowly and clearly. Mobile and general check-ins.
KE2EDS. KE2EDS.
716-317-9050, or you can email your call sign to text@ecr.radio. Again, reaching out to any general check-ins, mobile, come on back.
KE2 CSW Kilo Echo 2 Charlie Sierra Whiskey.
Okay, any more check-ins? Echo Link, general, mobile, come on back, give us your call sign, please.
For Golf 1 November, Yankee Sierra Mobile. For Golf 1 November, Yankee Sierra Mobile.
Any other check-ins? Please give us your call sign twice. back to the list. We have 4G1NYS, Stephen. KQ4GLY, Chris. KE2CSW, J-Rod. KE2EDS, Mark. KE2EDS, Mark. Do you trust your first instinct?
Well, good evening, Armin and Gil and the rest of the net. I generally do not trust my first instinct. I'm kind of one of those very impulsive persons, and I sometimes act a little too quickly. I'm better off just kind of thinking of something, stepping back, thinking about it a little bit, and then making the decision at that point. So, have a great net. Have a great evening, everyone. KE2EDS clear.
Well, thank you, Mark. It's kind of like impulse buying. All right, let's go to Stephen, 4G1NYS. Stephen, do you trust your first instinct?
All right, thank you very much. Control, this is 4 Golf 1, November Yankee Sierra on mobile here in Batangas City, Philippines. It's Thursday morning here. Just coming up and support the net. My answer to your question, no, I don't trust my first instincts in an instant. I study first the situation before doing whatever is best for what is happening around. 73 is everybody, back to net control.
Well, thank you, Stephen, and you're in Thursday morning already. Wednesday night, I didn't even get to bed yet, but thank you for your response. Appreciate you joining us tonight. All right, let's go to KE2CSW, J-Rod, Chazzy, New York. Sorry about that. Chazzy, New York, J-Rod. Do you trust your first instincts?
No, I do not trust my first instincts. I usually, being a day trader, I look into things a lot more. I go off my first instincts, then look into it further, and then, but generally I do not trust my first instincts. You definitely got to look into things first. KE2 CSW 73.
Well, thank you, J-Rod. We're getting a few no's here and one yes. Okay, let's move on to Chris, KQ4GLY, Parish, Florida. Chris, do you trust your first instinct?
Good evening, Net Control and everyone on the net. Yes, I trust my first instincts. I'm normally right on it. Back to you, KQ4GLY.
Thank you, Chris. We have another yes. Appreciate you joining us this evening. Okay, calling again for any check-ins. Please give us your call sign twice. Speak slowly and clearly. Any check-ins? K2AP. K2AP.
K0JRF. Kilo 0 Juliet Romeo.
Kilo Foxtrot 6, Hotel Delta Juliet. Kilo Foxtrot 6, Hotel Delta Juliet.
KR4COH. Kilo Romeo 4. Charlie Oscar Hotel. Checking in. No traffic at this time. In and out. IO. But we'll be monitoring. K6GBZ, K6GBZ, in and out. Thanks. KE8WMI, KE8WMI, in and out. Kilo Romeo 4, Charlie Charlie Golf, KR4CCG, in and out.
Hey, we got some in and outs here. We've got KR4, CCG, Jim, KE8, WMI, James, K6, GBZ, Tom, and KR4, COH, Hector. And then we have some others here. We got KF6, HBJ, Brent, Pensacola, Florida. K0JRF, Junior, Fairview, Pennsylvania. K2AP, Joe, East Islip, New York. Grew up on Long Island, Joe. Know East Islip well. All right, Joe, K2AP, do you trust your first instinct?
Well, I'll tell you, I believe I'm not sure. I do not trust my own instincts. I tend to do think of the ramifications of whatever I'm doing first and then do it. So that's worked out pretty well for me. K2AP, back to net.
Thank you, Joe, for responding and joining us this evening. So let's move on to K0JRF, Junior, Fairview, Pennsylvania.
Yep, name here is JR, and always trust that instinct. It's the only thing I got to go with anymore. Back to that.
Thank you, JR. Next up, we have Brent, Pensacola, Florida, KF6HDJ. Do you trust your first instinct, Brent?
Well, good evening to everyone on the net. Unfortunately, no. And it always seems to get me in a lot of trouble. I should have learned my lesson a long time ago. Hi. Back to net control, KF6HDJ. Thanks for the net.
Very good, Brent. Thank you for that. You have a good evening. I just want to make a quick announcement. We have a newly released program. Anyone can join us. It's the ECR QSO Quest, providing more reasons to get on the air, have fun, and enjoy the camaraderie. Become a quester and connect with a coaster. Go to eastcoastreflector.com, click on the colorful ECR Quest emblem, linking to another page where the program is clearly explained. On that page, click on the emblem again for a great informative video. So come and join me on the QSO Quest adventure. Okay, any more check-ins, please? Check-ins, any type, check-ins. And the question is, do you trust your first instinct?
KR4, EXB, Kilo Romeo 4, Echo X-Ray Victor.
This is Kilo Charlie 1, Zulu Echo Whiskey. Kilo Charlie 1, Zulu Echo Whiskey.
Any other check-ins of any kind? Welcome to join us.
November 4, Whiskey Bravo India Lima Alpha. November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo. ILA.
All right, well, hold up. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. We've got WB2ILA, Thomas from Jamestown, Rhode Island. Thomas, I see you're new. You'll be getting an email from East Coast Reflector. Come and join us. It'll tell you all about how to get on and all the activities. Go to eastcoastreflector.com. Learn all about us. And we have N4RHE, Roger from Fort Lauderdale. KC1ZEW, Jeffrey, are also new. You'll be receiving an email from East Coast Reflector. And you're from Westerly, Rhode Island. And KR4EXZ, John, High Springs, Florida. John, KR4EXZ, do you trust your first instinct?
Most definitely. Because the past few years when I don't is when it causes me the most trouble. Back to that.
All right, John, thank you. Have a good evening. All right, KC1ZEW, Jeffrey, Westerly, Rhode Island. Jeffrey, do you trust your first instinct?
Good evening, everyone on the net, and thanks for picking me up. I generally trust my first instinct, and more often than not, when I don't trust it, I end up regretting it. Back to you, Ned. Thanks again from Rhode Island.
Thank you, Jeffrey, and welcome to the East Coast Reflector. Glad you joined us. All right, Roger, N4RHE, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Roger, do you trust your first instinct?
Good evening, Net Control. Thank you for conducting the net. November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo. Yes, I trust my gut instinct, but always observing the OODA loop. The OODA loop concept. Observe, orient, decide, act. The OODA loop. You can keep looping, start at any point in that loop until they all align and align with your gut feeling, your gut instinct. November 4. Your enthusiast, return to net.
Thank you, Roger. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a good evening. All right, next up, WB2ILA, Thomas, Jamestown, Rhode Island. Thomas, welcome aboard. Do you trust your first instinct?
Actually, WB3ILA. I'm Steve from Eastern PA. Whiskey Bravo 3, India Lima Alpha. Maybe there was some static when I checked in. So yeah, I've been on once in a while here so far. But as far as the instinct goes, I tend to overthink things, and that gets me into trouble. So I also should just go with my first gut feeling and then leave it at that. So anyway, back to the net. Again, this is Steve, WB3ILA in Eastern PA.
Okay, Stephen, we have you now. Thank you for that correction. Appreciate it. And thanks for joining us. You have yourself a good evening. Next up, W31CQ, Bob from Leesburg, Florida. Bob, do you trust your first instinct?
Good afternoon. Good evening, I should say. That's W3ICQ. Well, you know, this is a hard question because my first instinct always tells me to go do it. But my second instinct always tells me that my first instinct is an idiot. So I don't know how to answer it. Should I say yes? Should I say no, I don't trust it? I don't know. Can you tell me what to say?
My first instinct on that would be no. But anyway, thanks, Bob. Appreciate you joining us this evening. Next up, we have Paul, Winchester, Virginia, KG4WHO. Paul, do you trust your first instinct? G4WHO. Paul, you out there?
Hey Armand, good to hear you. And Daniel on this end. And hope you're doing good. You're sounding great as net control. And to answer your question, I would say most of the time I don't. And when I have, the lottery tickets haven't won. So I'm still in a state of flux. KG4WHO. Back to you, Armand.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. All right, if you'd like to join us and become a net controller, go to ecr.radio/join open mic and fill out the form to let us know you're interested. One of our team members will contact you. There is no commitment and no experience is necessary. We will try to support you. Okay, let's go back to check-ins. Anybody else out there want to check in with us? Mobile, general, Echolink. Anybody's welcome.
W4, PX, Whiskey 4, Papa Papa X-ray.
Kilo 5, Charlie, Juliet. Chet in Houston.
KA4, JAZ. KA4, JAZ. KR4, COH, Kilo Romeo 4, Charlie Oscar Hotel. Top of the evening to the net. Just checking in. No traffic. IO in and out. Web monitoring.
Okay, any other check-ins? Please give us your call sign twice, slowly and clearly. Anybody else out there? Okay, we've got a few others here. Alton, KA4JAZ. We've got K5CJJ, Chet, and W4PPX, Don. All right, Don, W4PPX, do you trust your first instinct?
W4, PPX, put me down for yes, I do, 99% of the time. Trust my first. Very seldom wrong. Or PPX, back to net control.
Well, thank you, Don. I see you're in Hollywood. We're practically neighbors, not that far away from each other. Okay, next up, K5CJJ, Chet, Houston, Texas. Chet, do you trust your first instinct?
On the front end, I think my first instinct is the best, but if I have the time, I challenge it and test it to see if it's really the best outcome. So, yeah, I guess I accept it as better than not, but if I've got the time, I will test it to see if it's the right one.
Okay, well, thank you, Chet. Appreciate you joining us this evening on the open mic night. Next up, Alton, KA4JAZ. Alton, do you trust your first instinct?
evening to the net. And yes, you're doing a good job. So my answer is yes. After serving in the military years and then living in China for 18 years and living here in Virginia for 6 years, I have to go with my first instinct. So the answer is yes, sir. Back to net control.
Thank you, Alton. Appreciate your response and joining us this evening. And then we had an in-and-out KR4COH. Any other check-ins? Call signs twice, slowly and clearly.
N1WHT, November 1, Whiskey Hotel Tango, Michigan.
Kilo Echo 2, India Echo Golf.
Kilo 1,
KE2
Charlie
FLO,
November.
KE2
Kilo 1,
FLO.
Papa, Charlie November. In and out.
Person who just called in, you were stepped on there. Can you repeat your call sign? Call sign, you can check back in with us momentarily. All right, I've got KE2FLO, Mike from Buffalo. K1PCN, in and out, Peter from Fairfield, Connecticut. KE2IEG, Eric from Islip Terrace, New York. Eric, looks like you're new. You'll be getting an email from us, the East Coast Reflector. Join us on our website at eastcoastreflector.com. A lot of valuable information there and a lot of activities going on during the week. And then we have N1WHT Christopher. Looks like he's always also new. Same, you'll get an email and join us on the internet, eastcoastreflector.com, on our website, and just look up all the things we've got going on during the week. All right, Christopher, N1WHT, do you trust your first instinct?
Good evening, Net Control, and good evening to the net. I think I trust it in areas that I feel like I have lots of experience in. In areas that I have less experience, I tend to not trust it as much. I try to, but it's harder to do that when I don't feel like I have fact experience. Back to net.
Thank you, Christopher, and welcome to the East Coast Reflector Group. Next up, KE2IEG, Eric from Islip Terrace, New York. Eric, do you trust your first instinct?
Thank you, Net Control. Generally, I don't, but then in hindsight, I realize I probably should have. Back to you, Net Control.
Okay, Eric, thank you for your response, and again, welcome to the East Coast Reflector Group. Okay, we have another operator here, Buffalo, New York, Mike, KE2FLO. Mike, do you trust your first instinct?
Good evening, how you doing? This is KE2FLO, Mike from Buffalo. As far as the first instinct, yep, I always go with the gut. It's never failed me yet. And with that, I'll say thanks for doing the net, and back to you, KE2FLO.
All right, Mike, thank you for joining us. You have a good evening. Okay, it's 8:31 p.m., and I'm turning the net over to Dave, WB8ODF, to continue with the check-ins. Thank you, everybody, for your participation. This is Armand, W4AEB 73. Over to you, Dave.
Thank you, Armand, and I want to make my first announcement here, and you can decide for yourself if I have the wherewithal to go with my first instinct. I thought the text line was not really a great idea. I used it. I swear by it now. That number is 16317-9050. It hasn't failed me yet. All right, let's see if there's any echo link stations. Any echo link stations?
N2ZWR, N2ZWR, in and out.
All right, how about mobile? Any mobile stations? All right, it's kind of a slow open mic night. We'll take anybody that would like to check in from anywhere in the world. TE, VK4HTE.
WB2JPQ, WB2JPQ.
2ZVN and 2ZVN.
I've got my friend Dick, it's been a long time since I was able to check you into one of my nets, WB2JPQ, VK4HTE Tom, and Terry, N5RTC, and starting us out on this round is Daniel, N2ZWR. Daniel, do you trust your first instinct?
Good evening to everybody on the net. I was in and out, but I'll answer the question. Yes, I generally try to, and I've realized when I don't, I end up regretting it. So, yes, I do. N2ZWR, back to net control. Thanks for running the net.
You're welcome, Daniel, and my first instinct was to call on you, and you were in and out, so thanks for coming back to us anyways. Terry, good evening to you, N5RTC.
Good evening, Dave. Mark on the log, folks in the Zoom room. I generally trust my first instinct, but I don't always follow it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, maybe it's always right. And so some of the time anyway, I can go back and grab it back. N5RTC, back to net control.
All righty. All the work you do on the open mic night, you and Mark. Going down to Tom now, VK4HTE. Good evening. Well, actually, it's probably good morning.
VK4 Hotel Tango Echo returning. Thank you for inviting me into your net. And yes, I do trust my first instinct. I find it has been most reliable over the years and created me the least problems. VK4HKE, back to net control.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. And Dick, you are next, WB2JPQ. Like I said, it's been a long time since I got to call you in on one of my nets.
Yeah, for sure, Dave. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I usually do trust my first instinct. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but I'm usually pretty good at that, Dave. Thanks for doing the net. I'll see everybody tomorrow morning. Scott and I will be doing the morning brew, the Thursday edition of the morning brew. So come join us. I think we might have an interesting question tomorrow. Thank you. This is WB2JPQ.
Well, thank you, Dick. And I know what that question is going to be, so I have to say, yep, it's going to be a good question tomorrow on the brew. Into ZVN, Alan, good evening.
Well, good evening, everyone on the net. Yes, I generally do, and when I don't, I usually live to regret it. So I think first instincts, yep, they're the best to go with. Everyone have a great night, and choose ZVN.
All right, Alan in Kendall, New York, thank you very much, and I agree with that. I've got a station here that we're not real clear on the call sign. We have KD2EYZ. If it's anything like that, if your call sign is anything like that, give us the call sign again, please.
This is KD2UYC, Kilo Delta 2 Uniform Yankee Tango. On a handheld, pretty far from the repeater. Can you hear me?
All right, Michael, well, we got it this time, KD2UYT, and it says that you are new here, so expect, if you're good on QRZ, expect a welcoming letter from us, and join us. We got tons of nets here. It's like Net Central here. I love it. All right, going down to, well, we see if we got any more check-ins. Anybody, anywhere that would like to check into the open mic night? We have about 20 minutes left.
Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Lima Yankee. Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Lima Yankee.
November 7, Foxtrot Golf Papa. November 7, Foxtrot Golf Papa. VK3AWA. VK3AWA.
Kilo 2, Kilo India. Kilo 2, Kilo India.
All right, we'll hold it up there. I've got K2KI Bob. I've got VK3AWA Daryl, N7FGP Scott, KO4MLY Andy, and did I miss KD2UYT? I thought I acknowledged him.
Yeah, this is KD2UYC. You caught me there, yes.
All right, yeah, I just got told that I forgot to get your answer to the question, and you just gave it, so thank you very much, Michael. And thanks. I don't remember who took over when our logger had to leave, but we'll move down. We got a logger. KO4MLY Andy in Gainesville, Florida. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. It's Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Lima Yankee, Gainesville, Florida. I just turned the radio on and heard you guys and checked in. I didn't hear what the question was.
Well, thanks for jumping in here. Better late than never. The question is, do you trust your first instinct?
Boy, that's heavy. Do I trust my first instinct? Sometimes, but I'll say this, or my gut feeling, I should say. I'll say this. Sometimes I do, and there's a lot of times when I don't, I regret it.
All right. Well, we're going to put you down for a yes. Sometimes you regret it, but basically, I'm going to say you do it yes more than no. All right. N7FG. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Dave, and hello everybody on the net tonight. It's usually with me, it's analysis paralysis. So I'll analyze things to death, and then I'll end up going with my first instinct. So over to you.
All right. Analysis paralysis. Consider that stolen. I like it. I'm going to use it. Daryl, you're up next, VK3AWA. And again, I should say good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good morning, Dave, and those listening. Yes, I generally do, and it generally works out okay. It reminds me of the old statement. I used to be indecisive, but now I'm not so sure. Back to you.
I like that one too. I'm going to feel that one too, Bob. I'm sorry, Daryl. Bob, you're next. K2KI, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for running the net, and good evening to everybody on the net. Do I trust my first instinct? I try to as much as possible, and most of the time it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it usually never works out if I don't trust it. So that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. K2KI.
All right. Well, we got you down for a yes. Andrew, you're next. K6ADS, good evening. And do you trust your first instinct?
Thank you very much there, Net Control. I got to say yes, I do. But then if I don't have an initial instinct about it, then I get into analysis paralysis, and I've used that for many years, so that's a great one. But yeah, generally, if I have an instinct about it, like if I got that feeling, that gut feeling, it's dead on, and I trust it. Thank you very much. This is K6ADS, currently in Maryland. Great Net Control.
Thank you, Andrew. Things were going slow tonight, so I'm just going to open it up. Anybody, anywhere. Well, let me ask for any mobiles.
This is Kilo Echo 2, Charlie Charlie Kilo. Again, Kilo Echo 2, Charlie Charlie Kilo, mobile.
All right, Matt, we have you down mobile. You'll be first on this go around. Do we have any links, any Echo Link stations?
This is K2KI. I am on Echo Link, and the reason being is that the Plattsburgh repeater, which I normally use in New York, is down this evening for some reason. So if anybody is monitoring who is part of that repeater, just wanted to give that little report, if I may.
Yes, sir, you may, and thank you for that. And you sound really, really good on your echo link. All right, so let's go to Matt, mobile, KE2CCK.
Evening. This is KE2CK. I just ended up tuning in on here. Was there a question for the night?
Yes, sir. The question is, do you trust your first instinct?
Yes, I do. I've had tremendous amount of, I don't know what you call it, maybe luck, but it's usually wrong. So I've learned not to avoid that feeling, and very thankful that I am gifted that. So anyways, with that being said, everybody have a wonderful night, and stay warm, stay safe out there. From KE2CCK, saying 7-3 to all. Back to net control, out.
Thanks, Matt. Well, let me remind everybody, you can listen to Amateur Radio Newsline every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time and every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'd love to have you. Myself being part of the Amateur Radio Newsline, I would love to have all of you listen to all of our broadcasts. All right, I'm going to go with anybody anywhere that would like to check in. Your call signs, slower than I talk. Slow and twice, please.
5, Mike Echo Lima. Hello, Juliet 5, Mike Echo Lima.
VE3BZ. VE3BZ. W4OND. Whiskey 4 Oscar Mike.
All right, well, let's go around. We have Kevin, VE3BZ. We have Jose, KJ5MEL, who's in the Zoom room with us this evening, and a station that sounds a lot like W4OMD. If you sound anything like that, I think we messed you up. So the station that is ending in OMD, give us your call sign again, please.
Good evening, I apologize. That is Whiskey 4 Oscar Mike Golf. Whiskey 4 Oscar Mike Golf. Give us up.
We got you, William, in Kissimmee, and you're at the top of the list, so let's go with you. How are you doing this evening, and do you trust your first instinct?
Doing fantastic this evening. Working, but yeah, doing great. I actually do trust my first instinct, especially when I'm taking those multiple choice questions, right? The one that hits my mind quickly, that's the answer, usually turns out to be the correct answer if I choose otherwise. Back to net.
All right, I like that confidence. All right, Jose, KJ5MEL. I see you in the Zoom room. I wave to you here. Hi. What is your answer for tonight's question? Do you trust your first instinct?
Sure do. I trust my first instinct.
time. It works excellently.
All right, well, I like when mine works as well. One of our heavy workers here on the swap and shop, Kevin, is with us. VE3BZ, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Dave, and everyone on the net. Kevin here in Victoria Harbor, Ontario. And yes, most of the time my first instinct serves me pretty well. Very rarely has it led me astray. But anyway, thanks for doing the net, Dave. You sound good. Back to you, VE3BZ.
We're once again at the bottom of the list, so I'll take any check-ins from anywhere, any place, and any mode. We'll go with any mode on this.
Alpha Bravo 6, Mike Bravo. Alpha Bravo 6, Mike Bravo.
Kilo 4 Bravo Golf Uniform, KR4 BGU. Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Victor Juliet. Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Victor Juliet.
All right, since we're going slow today, I'll stop it here and get the actual call of something we missed here. I've got Whiskey Victor Juliet. We have Mike Bravo. And in the middle of that, we had KR4CVU or something like that. If you could correct us, I would really like that.
Kilo Romeo 4 Bravo Golf Uniform. Bravo Golf Uniform. KR4 BGU.
Juliet 5, India Delta Delta. KJ5, IDD.
All right, we'll run with these. I've got Tracy, KJ5 IDD. We've got Bill, VE3WVJ. And we've got, is it Maximum? KR4BGU. I think we fixed that. And we have Alpha Bravo 6, Mike Bravo. So, Jeff, let's go with you in Union City, California.
Good evening. This is Jeff, AV6MB on the San Francisco Bay. Yeah, here it's about 70 degrees outside and sunny and nice day today. I heard you mention about talking about your first instinct, and there seems to be something to that. Maybe that's what kept us from getting eaten by the dinosaurs, by having that, or big bears and saber-tooth tigers. But, something about that. Your mind picks out little pieces and puts it together. And a lot of times it'll come up with something that says, this doesn't seem right. If it doesn't seem right, a lot of times it isn't. So it's a good question. But anyway, good to hear everybody on the net. Enjoy listening to it when I can. So with that, I'll turn it back to you. This is AB6MB.
All right, Jeff. Good answer. I like that. All right, let's go down to KR4BGU. We fixed that in Charlotte, North Carolina. Good evening. And do you trust your first instinct?
KR4VZU, and I agree with the previous caller. You have to trust it. It's not something your brain subconsciously figure out that it might be dangerous to you, and I do trust my instinct, trust my gut, and I think it's a useful skill to develop. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here from Charlotte. And this is Dave, WB8ODF, your net control for this half hour of open mic night. And if you would like to be in the chair I'm in right now, I can't promise next day, but on a Wednesday, and do controlling here on the East Coast Reflector, you can go to eastcoastreflector.com. They have a sign-up form. Fill that baby out, and Terry will probably get with you. Terry or Mark will probably get with you as soon as you do that. All right, VE3WVJ, Bill, good evening. In Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. Are you still with us, Bill? WVJ, WB8ODF. All right, well, thank you. I was going to say let's put Bill in and out, but they already did in the Zoom room, or in the log. Tracy, you're up next, KJ6IDD. And after we talk to Terry, I'll take one more round of check-ins. We have 3 or 4 minutes. I can take 3 or 4 more stations. So, Tracy, do you trust your first instinct?
IDD. Used to. Do that no more. People stab you in the back. Go with your gut or don't go at all.
All right, well, I love that song, The Backstabber, so we're going to go with that, Tracy. Thanks for being here this evening. I'll take one more quick round, maybe 2 or 3 more people before we get to the top of the hour. This is Dave, WB8ODF, and anybody anywhere that would like to check in, I'll take like 2 or 3 more.
Kilo Bravo 9 or Tango Zulu. Back. I don't have any traffic for tonight. Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Victor Juliet. Had some interference there, some problems, but here for a second check in V3WVJ.
KI5, SDJ, Kilo, India 5, Sierra Delta Juliet, in and out.
Romeo 4, Lima Golf, Quebec. Kilo Romeo 4, Lima Golf, Quebec.
All right, well, I'm going to hold it up here. I've got a Kilo Romeo 4 Lima Golf, Quebec. I'm not sure if that's correct, but I have you in and out, so thanks for being here. I've got KI5SDJ, Darren, you were in and out as well. So we're going to end the night this evening with Bill. Bill, I did give you a call, and I'm glad you came back to us. So, Bill, you're going to be our last check-in for tonight. VE3WVJ, do you trust your first instinct?
Of course I do. Trust in your gut feeling there, you know.
Never second guess yourself, and always go with what that inner conscience and that gut feeling tells you. There's probably a reason for that feeling you get when you're thinking about something, or you get that sixth sense. Definitely good to go with it. And if you double guess yourself, that's usually when things start to go not so good. So always go with the flow and go with your first gut instinct, definitely. Thank you very much for taking the check-in. I apologize for earlier there. I was having a little bit of technical difficulties. When I got back on, I did hear that you had called me out for in and out, but I thought maybe I can just squeak in here at the last second and get to say my piece. But thank you very much for being there. Much appreciated. Great night on the ECR, and I hope everyone's having a good evening. Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Victor Juliet, back to net control. Thank you very much for being there.
Well, Bill, yeah, you did squeak in. You were our last check-in for this version of the open mic night, which is every Wednesday night here on the East Coast Reflector. If you want more information about anything on the East Coast Reflector, go to eastcoastreflector.com. It's right there, and it's got a lot of information, a whole lot of information. Thanks, everybody, for checking in to Open Mic Night. I look forward to the next time Terry or Mark invites me in. So I'll now return the East Coast Reflector to normal radio amateur usage. WB8 ODM. Thanks a lot, guys.
I think I missed the thing. This is KD3 TB checking in. I think I missed the thing earlier. I'm not sure. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, the net's over. Try again.